Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. You know, y'all, I don't know if you guys know this, but I've been, a lot of you know, I've been sick. I've been sick, been unable to walk for a few days. And when I do walk, it takes a while for me to get up, and it hurts after a while. So after walking a lot, I decided I'm gonna lay down today. I'm gonna sit down and watch some of this DC fandom event, and I was prepared. I was prepared. I had myself a nice cup of coffee, some herbal tea, and as the program kept going and going, the tea went away, the nice hot cocoa went away, and out came the alcoholic beverages and the energy drink for the Sandman panel, which they didn't put me to sleep. They chose the right name. It's got the right name. But I'm watching this panel. I'm watching DC Fandom, and I don't think I'm gonna make it. I don't know if it's just the illness or what, but I don't think I'm gonna make it.
And not really worry about continuity, story elements, and etc. And so it's really kind of the best of both worlds and allows us to take advantage of.
Why is there stuff blinking?
Done and really allow us to sort of expand moving forward. And we're trying to keep it as simple as that. Like there is that one Earth, the greater Earth of sort of this existing.
Now I want to know how Robert Pattinson is going to do
another Earth
as Batman now that
stages of year 2 Batman.
Now that Ben is back.
There are outliers like Joker.
That's Hamada, the new head of DC, who is getting all the praise for the DC movies being good lately, except for Birds of Prey. He dodged that bullet, I guess. But
he's got great plans to how to build it out in a way that's sort of innovative. And they announced recently that there's an idea of taking that Gotham and exploring it.
I'm just gonna drink.
HBO Max, there's a show. Like those are things
I'm just gonna drink
because we don't have to worry about how that would impact Aquaman 2 or how that could impact the Flash. And so I think it just opens doors for us in ways that you couldn't have if you had to have a singular universe.
So let's get into some of the questions that we've got from fans. The first one is for you, Jim. It's from Van in the US. Now that Doomsday Clock has concluded, will we see any more of Alan Moore's comic characters cross over with the DC multiverse?
Probably less on the crossover side. You don't want to, dip into the well too often and kind of make it too regular thing. Too common.
I was
for really big epic stories.
I like Jim. I got pictures of Jim. I got Jim's autograph on a couple things. I'm a Jim Lee fan.
A story worthy of that.
If I was Jim, I would have called in sick today.
There's a spinoff. There's a Rorschach series that Tom King is writing. It's not like necessarily a crossover per se, but we are exploring more of the Watchmen universe. It's obviously got kind of second life with the HBO TV series, and so it's been kind of fun exploring that. But yeah, that's all I can share at this point.
I can't.
The next one is for Greg from Swarup Kumar Singh in India.
Hey, Glenn, how's it going?
Infinite Earth's finale showed that the multiverse
Alfie.
is
Thanks,
gone,
Alfie.
and there exists only one universe and one Earth Prime. But since other shows like Titans, Doom Patrol, and the DC still goes on, is the multiverse actually gone, or is it recreated?
It's not gone. It's that was to really help us, sort of like the original reason for Crisis, when they were like, oh, we have too many worlds. Let's start combining things for the purpose of the book.
And see, this isn't so bad.
CW, those worlds are now one. But off network is like being off planet in a different part of the multiverse, but it's still alive and flourishing.
The multiverse.
The multiverse, maybe because we are bad writers and need to tokenize our characters. The multiverse. We can have a character be a different person altogether. No characterization needed at all. Sarah, hello, Sarah.
And fell.
Glenn Ford says, "Where's the raccoon hat, man? The raccoon hat is on vacation. He'll be back. It sent me a postcard the other day. It's due back home here Monday. So it's been enjoying itself.
Persevering in the face of every obstacle.
I can't make it past. I tried to get into Doom Patrol. I can't do it. I've tried. I mean, you think like I can't walk right now, so I should be able to just be forced to sit on the sofa and not do anything.
The age of heroes was born.
I can't do it. I tried.
Okay, well, Walt, the next question is for you from Sumik Day in India. Will we get more multiverse movies or even Elseworlds movies like Superman, Red Sun?
I think it's the possibility is there. It's
Oh.
it really comes down to, like I said, our focus is great stories. And so if we come across the right filmmaker with an interesting story that doesn't work within our existing timeline, and it would work as an Elseworld, we would definitely explore it. I can say we're not currently developing Red Sun, so that isn't one of them. But it really comes down to when the right filmmaker or the right idea comes together. That's the beauty of multiverses. We can explore it. We can go down the road and take a shot at it. But what we don't want to do is be in a place like Jim was saying, like it should be special. It doesn't. You don't want I don't think you want an Elseworld movie every year. Like
I don't want a DC movie any year if y'all keep turning out crap.
We want them to be special. We want to make sure that it doesn't just sort of feel like we're just cranking out a volume of different versions of these characters.
That's exactly what you're
doing.
doing.
There has to be a reason for it. And I think it has to be a reason that we're excited about, that we think the fans will be excited about. So, yes, the answer is yes. There will be opportunities.
That's what we can't stand. This, yeah.
One more question for all of you guys. This is from Ryan Keller in the U.S. With the existence of the DC multiverse, how do you approach managing a wide variety of characters, stories, and universes for DC? And how will you work to help keep the audience connected with such a large variety of characters?
Okay, so I got a question for everybody. I just got a question. A quick question. Let's just say that I decided that I want to, Kevin Feige decided he wants to do some more Marvel stories outside of the MCU. And he says, "Oh, I know. I want to do Demon in a Bottle. I want to be a hard R-rated Demon in a Bottle storyline. It's Iron Man. It's when Tony Stark became an alcoholic. And you know what? I can get him on the cheap. I'm gonna hire Charlie Sheen as Tony Stark." And they put out a movie, and then right when they were doing that, Robert Downey Jr. decides he's gonna come back as Iron Man. Wouldn't that? It just seems confusing to me. It's like having, and it's from the same studio. It's not like a biopic where, 3 different directors or writers is how they want to do a biopic on the same person. They choose different actors. I don't like the idea of switching all these actors up. You got Robert Pattinson as Batman and the Batman. You got Ben Affleck, in my opinion, the actual, who should be Batman back. Run with that. But I mean, I get it. The Batman is too far along in production now to hang it up, and it might be a good movie. A year from now, I might be eating a crow, and I might have to admit there's a good movie. This panel has been a struggle to get through. It's been a struggle. I've been trying to get through these panels, and I broke out the alcohol. I got Mike's Hard Lemonade. I got Riscato. I got Bud Light. I got Nas energy drink. I don't know how I'm gonna make it through this. I'm trying. I got all these people telling me, what they're doing. And then they showed a video game. Oh, let me tell you about the video game they showed. Gotham Knights. Now, when I listen, the trailer started, I got hyped. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a continuation of Arkham Knight. This is gonna be awesome. And they had my ass fooled for like 55.2 seconds. Because then they started showing gameplay. And the gameplay looked awfully familiar to me. And I'm wondering where have I said, oh, this is Avengers. The Avengers game hasn't come out yet either. I've been playing on beta. I've already got it pre-ordered at GameStop. I'm getting the collector's edition, but it's I don't like a lot of multiplayer games. I'll play the campaign, and then if I get the main campaign, I'll beat that, do everything I can do in that, and then if I get bored or there's some trophies outside of the the main campaign that I can get from going online, I'll do that mainly because I hate playing with people online. Unless it's in a versus capacity. If I can face you in a competitive match, that's different. We could do that. But when it comes to, facing you, teaming up with you, because some people, like my wife, decide they want to run around and get all of the shiny collectibles laying on the floor, while the villains or the bad guys are all attacking me, and she'll run them back past me. Here, attack him. Let me get this statue over here. and I'm doing all the fighting. So I don't like playing competitive games like that. Games like that where I gotta do co-op. But that Gotham Knights game, that's Avengers 2. I guarantee you. It might be good though. It might be good. Who knows? I'll probably listen. I say that I don't like stuff, but if you know me, I'll be the first person down the line to get it begrudgingly, and I'll actually talk shit about the game while I'm buying it. I don't want to buy this, but I have to have it because I have to show my support for the company. Give me this. It's kind of weird. I don't know why I do that. But these people here, with the exception of the young lady whose name I'm drawing a blank on right now. That part of the problem. John shows you that it's like watching bad carbon copy heroes. Oh, it is, John. It is. Sarah says you're cracking me up. I have no idea what's going on and keep laughing. They're doing it's called DC Fandom because everything was canceled. DC says we're going to do our own controlled event. It's going to be all DC all day. And let me tell you something. Do not be fooled. They spreaded it out. They spreaded it out over 2 weekends now. And let me tell you why they did that. Because they probably had to cut a lot of footage because a lot of this is pre-recorded. They fired a bunch of people. Last week they fired a bunch of people. So by now they've cut a lot of that material. Let's see what's coming up next. What are they talking about? Why does it keep blinking like that? It's weird.
The future certainly looks bright for the DC multiverse. I'm still not sure what I will look like on Earth 26.
Like a nuclear flash
bright.
bright.
To meet me there. Now, if you're a big DC fan like me, then I'm willing to bet that you cannot wait for the Flash feature film to electrify the big screen. The good news is that you don't have to wait that long, because we are going right now with the filmmakers and the Flash himself, Ezra Miller.
Ezra, I choke it, Miller. Remember that? He choked that girl, didn't lose his job. Choked the pregnant woman, didn't lose his job. Let me do that.
Hello, fans around the world. It's me, Ezra Miller.
Can you just move out your hair on the left side a little bit?
You don't like this? I'm Andy Muschietti, director of the Flash movie.
I'm Christina Hodson, the screenwriter of The Flash. I haven't spoken to humans in a while, so I'm going to be rusty.
I'm Barbara Muschietti, the producer of The Flash movie.
I play Barry Allen, aka The Flash,
I cut that hair
in the upcoming Flash movie. And I love you, and I'm excited to be here digitally with you.
Cut that hair, hippie. Got it.
Flash fact, if you go to the bottom of Andy Muschietti's Wikipedia or IMDb page, you'll see that he actually has a PA credit on the 1996 Madonna movie Evita. Must ask you more about that, Andy.
Telling the story of one of the greatest superheroes of the DC world is a challenge. The most important thing is that it gets to your heart. Growing up with Batman and Superman and Flash, it was an opportunity to reconnect with childhood.
I've got a bunch of different liqueurs here that I'm drinking from.
DC Comics actually stands
because I can't make it.
Detective Comics.
I can't make it through this
film, I
sober.
think it's very much
It's not happening.
Andy's signature.
He can jump from funny to scary to emotional really fast.
And it's also a time travel story, which I find very exciting.
I am looking forward to the
And
Flash
he
movie,
managed to
though.
put these tiny little DC Easter eggs into the It movie.
I like your glasses, Mr. Keene. You look just like Clark Kent.
I don't know about that.
One, he was vying for the job way earlier than any of us knew. Or two, while making the Flash movie, he discovered time travel for real, went back in time, and went to put all these things in just to mess with us. Either way, well played, sir.
You meet Andy, and you immediately can understand why
Trying to
he's
set us
the
on the
perfect
director
choice for
right
this
now.
movie. It's his.
That's fine. That's fine.
His priorities.
He'll probably do a fine job.
I'm also excited
But,
to see Andy's version of the Speed Force. He happened to have done some doodles that I may or may not have taken and kept. They are literally unlike anything you've ever seen before.
Flash fact. Did you know that according to actual comic book canon, Superman is both a vegetarian and a Metallica fan? Which is, of course, impossible. But then again, he's Superman.
Batman lost his parents. Superman lost his planet. Harley Quinn lost her egg sandwich. Barry, because he's got this ability to go back and manipulate time, he's the only one who can actually go and change his own personal story.
His mother was murdered.
See, I gotta say, I'm looking forward to the Flash movie. However, I'm worried that Ezra's gonna get kicked out the role before they start filming. Because when Ezra choked that young pregnant girl, and I know he said they were hassling him in the bar. I get it, but wow, oh wow, he choked that girl, and he pushed her down. She's pregnant, and I don't know what the pregnant one was doing in the bar. I mean, well, I guess she could go in the bar and eat still. There's nothing wrong with that, but that was kind of scary. But the Flash movie would have been out too had he not kept asking for it to be rewrote. Been done by now, but I guess it's a good thing because now we got Ben Affleck coming back, which I don't know if they're gonna announce in this thing. They probably won't. They probably shouldn't, especially if this is pre-recorded. I don't know. And then too, like, I have a problem accepting Ezra as the Flash because I've gotten used to Grant Gustin as the Flash because of the TV series. And again, that's one of the dangers of having two people play, the same character. I think that's one of the dangers because, you do create this division between fans who say, I like this guy in the role more than that guy. And they both bring a different element to the characters. It was cool to see them both together in the Crisis on Infinite Earths multiverse thing. That was kind of cool.
Comics is actually a Flash comic. Flash Comics number 123, The Flash of Two Worlds.
Time travel isn't simple. It's not always a straightforward case of
I don't know if
one thing and another thing changes in the future.
Are you guys excited for that? Do you guys want to see a Flash Flash come back and maybe show up on the DC universe? Not DC universe, show up on Arrowverse again. We'll have this Flash go over there. Or Grant Gustin come to the movies. That'd be kind of cool too. Oh, so many different Batman
movie by opening that door that Flashpoint did in the comics.
See, I'm not sure if
stories and characters can start to collide.
Yeah, here you go.
This should be impossible now.
It should be impossible now?
You don't know about the...
Oh my God, don't do this to me. I don't know about the what.
The cinematic multiverse is going to be born out of this movie. It's born out of Barry's story.
It blows our minds, the levels of possibility that exist within the context of this character in this story.
I can't wait for all of us to be able to sit down in a theater and enjoy these movies in the dark with a lot of people and with great snacks.
I don't know if I'm being dark with a lot of people.
So obviously, I don't want to spoil too much of the movie. I want you to be surprised when you see it. There's something that I can show you, a little sneak peek.
They're slick. They're trying to play all this. Are they Rickrolling us?
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's my fault.
They're trying to Rickroll us.
It was an accident. It's not my personal playlist, but it might. Yeah, that might have been my fault. Back to you, Andy.
So I'd like to share a couple of concept art drawings, and it's Barry Allen's new suit.
Oh, he has a new suit, huh? Does it look like it's an actual suit now?
You can see it's more organic. You can see light embedded in it. It has been built by his friend Bruce Wayne this time.
Flash fact. The first ever Batman movie is actually an unlicensed Batman Dracula movie made by Andy Warhol with a soundtrack by the Velvet Underground. It's unreleased, but there's 39 minutes that have been recovered, and I highly recommend watching them. They're extremely strange.
There are so many potential crossovers in the multiverse, so many cool things that you could do.
I would really love them to do a two-hander with Wonder Woman. I think they would solve
Bruce Wayne made Barry's costume, kind of like Iron Man did Spider-Man. Okay.
Instead of all
see what you did there.
That it takes traveling from Winterfell to King's Landing, it would happen in 2 seconds. Barry Allen.
I see what you did there.
I actually already have a weird behind-the-scenes DC multiverse crossover. My best friend growing up is Rob Pattinson's older sister. So I've actually known the new Batman since he was 2 years old and in diapers.
I would like the Flash to meet in the multiverse Nicolas Cage. Not the Nicolas Cage Superman that never was. I'd want the Flash to meet Nicolas Cage, the person in this world, who I believe probably does have the ability to transcend space-time. It's a real proposition.
It's easy making a play for Nick Cage. Let's see how it goes. Oh, it is.
Can't wait to hear more about The Flash. Thank you, Andy, Barbara, Christina, and Ezra. Fun fact, we all know there are several Flashes: Wally West, Jay Garrick, Bart Allen, and Barry Allen. Did you know when Barry isn't working to save the world as the Flash, he's working to save Central City as a police scientist? Okay, that's all for me right now. I'm going to turn this over to Jaden Rodriguez, and I'll see you back here soon.
G'day DC fandom, I'm Jaden Rodriguez from Australia, and I'm so excited to be here with you all. I just got to say, being a total superhero freak that I am, I'm totally loving being a part of this epic DC event. And you can't talk about superheroes without talking about the man himself, Batman. I mean, dude, can you imagine how awesome it would be to be Batman? In fact, if there's anything better than watching Batman, it's watching two Batmans, or Batmans. It doesn't matter. Let's have a look at this mashup of two fan favorite Dark Knights who happen to reside in the opposite ends of the Bat spectrum.
You see, I don't know if I can do this. Like, the shilling.
Terry, this is top priority.
Go ahead, Bruce.
Don't know if I could do that, because, I mean, I probably...
I'm patching it into you now.
Is that you?
Clearly, that's not me, Terry. But apparently it's what passes for me on this earth.
Whoa! Who's the dweeb?
That would be Robin's counterpart.
The Joker! No way. That's the Joker?
That's not the Joker. It's a Joker.
I don't know, Bruce. Your friend with the Liberty Bell hair said the Joker.
No matter which universe he's from, he's a vicious and deadly psychotic.
He's throwing fish at you right now.
One thing's for sure. This Joker could up his thug recruitment game.
Yeah, set up the fish and start tossing already, slacker. Wait, is he stealing a fish? Oh, this has got to be the dumbest heist.
The fish snapping of the century. Careful, you don't.
Hey, swell costume, by the way, Bruce.
Terry.
Must have taken forever to get the iron-on bat symbol just right.
Terry!
Well.
Oh, this ought
Actually.
that ride's pretty sway, Bruce.
Don't let them catch you from behind.
What an odd thing to say.
Yeah.
Hey, Bruce, I just noticed something about your cowl.
Again, not my cowl. But what is it?
Are the eyebrows painted on?
Don't be. Oh, yeah, they are.
You know, my great aunt does the same thing with her eyebrows. Totally works for Aunt Phyllis.
It's...
What the?
Now what's going on? Where's this?
I'm not sure.
I have no idea what I'm watching, but I'm enjoying it.
On a hill.
Joker could really stand to run a comb through that wig, huh?
It's...
Oh, easy, boy wonder. Let's not forget we're wearing elf shoes and support hose.
And who is he even shushing at this point?
What's with the 57 random telescopes lying around for no reason?
Yeah.
It's fishy here, Batman.
The Gotham High girls volleyball team's going to be ticked when they find out their net was stolen.
Actually, I'm not sure which is more disconcerting. His trap, or the fact that these two can't seem to find their way out of it.
How about a fish fry?
Ooh, fish fry guy here is angling for a promotion. Settle down there, fish fry.
Wait a minute.
What is it?
Look at the Joker. Is it my imagination, or does he
have a mustache?
Now that is just not right.
Wow, worst hot tub party ever. But on the right side, Robin is already wearing his bathing suit.
See you guys later.
I couldn't possibly forcibly deprive that poor hungry
You know,
clam of its
one of the things about the 60s Batman that I like is that I had good memories of it growing up as a kid, watching it, sitting, on the floor in the den, on the sofa, just watching. I think they showed like 2 or 3 episodes back to back, and I think it was like 2, and I did enjoy that. But so it has a special place, with me. But I can watch it in small doses. I can't. There was one time that somebody was showing some station was showing it like a week-long marathon, and it started from episode 1 all the way down, and I watched it, all day, and my wife couldn't take much of it. She was like, "I gotta get out of here. I can't do it." I think she may have stayed around for like 4 episodes, maybe 5, and she was like, "Okay, I have to go to something else." So I can understand people not finding it fun or entertaining. That's
We never tell anyone what we saw here today.
Seriously? Not even the mustache?
Never.
I can tell you're serious. Know how? Your eyebrows, very expressive on their own. Why you ever chose to paint?
Don't you start.
I love it. Batman has such a great sense of humor. Okay, devoted fans teamed up to show out in force at the DC Fandom. Let's take a look at some of the best group cosplays, and coming up is a showdown like you've never seen before. Stay tuned for lots of fun and games with the Suicide Squad.
a celebration of group cosplay. These are all cosplay pictures from DC Universe, the DC Universe app that they can't show anymore. You think they would have put DC Fandom on DC Universe? I don't know if they did. Maybe they did. I have to check. But you would think they would, just to try to increase buyership of that. I know it's dead. It's pretty much gone, but oh no, not this Wallace and Gromit stuff again. Please. There's not enough alcohol.
Come on then, let's go.
What is this? Why?
I like watching the stars. Orion and the plough.
Why? Did it need filler? It needed filler.
Polaris. And the big triangular thing. I win!
If I would be drunker, that would work. That would be funny. Hey.
Even though we are in the Hall of Heroes, I know that if I was ever in trouble, I would call upon this next group to help me out. As you know, director James Gunn announced in February that filming had wrapped for the Suicide Squad.
Okay.
And right now, he's taken a break from the edit bay to be here with us to discuss his vision for the film, answer fan questions, and have some insanely crazy fun with the cast.
This ought to be good.
And, of course, share some never-before-seen content with us. Check it out.
This is amazing. I'm so excited to be here at DC Fandom with all the amazing DC fans. As many of you know, the Suicide Squad is by far the most fun I've ever had making a movie. I am still working hard on it every day from morning till night, but we're having a great time creating something incredibly special for people. And I'd like to take this break now to take some questions from you guys.
Hey, James. When was the first time you ever read Suicide Squad as a comic book? And who was your favorite character?
I read John Ostrander's original run of Suicide Squad. So I remember reading the very first issue of that run and falling in love with the concept, with the characters. I loved the movie The Dirty Dozen that came out back in the 60s. And this was like a super villain version of The Dirty Dozen. And I loved the character of Amanda Waller, who was so different for the time, in terms of being such a strong woman, but not kind of an anti-hero, but kind of bad, kind of good, not physically the same as everybody else you saw in comic books. And I just thought she was so cool. And of course, I loved all the characters and Boomer and everybody. And I just had a great time reading that initial run.
My name is Maisha Kondakar, and I'm a loyal DC fan, and I'm making this video from Dhaka, Bangladesh. I have a question for James Gunn. Which DC character were you most excited to write about for the Suicide Squad movie, and why?
Maisha, I think the character that I was the most excited to write for was Harley Quinn. I've loved this character ever since Paul Dini first put her in animated shows. I think that there's a sort of chaotic trickster god nature to her where she's just always going off in random directions. And as a writer, that's a really fun thing to deal with because she takes you in places where you don't know you're going to go. So a lot of it was me writing for Harley, and a lot of it was Harley doing some of the writing for me during the Suicide Squad.
Hey, I'm Jake from State Farm, and setting aside the
Hey,
massive
Jake.
amounts of damage that you must have had the squad rack up in that one scene, can you confirm the number of crashes and explosions? Asking for a friend.
Hey, Jake, I cannot confirm the exact amount of explosions and crashes, but I will say that we have about as many explosions and crashes in this film as in any film ever. In fact, the guy who did all of our special effects on this film, Dan Sudik, who has done almost all of the Marvel movies, great movies, says that there are more effects in this film than all of those movies he's done combined. So we have quite...
To enforce a small fact, Leslie Gore guest starred on several episodes of Batman as Catwoman's sidekick, and she was an out of closet way back then. I always like Leslie Gore.
Inspired you to feature these under the radar characters?
That is an amazing question. One I'm excited to answer because I actually had a long talk with John Ostrander, about this because he came and he visited the set, and I said I don't think of this movie so much as an adaptation.
Show us some footage.
Your
a trailer.
I think
that'd be nice.
Movie
Haven't seen the Suicide Squad trailer yet, have we?
Your comics,
so.
you run in the comic books. What would John Ostrander be doing with these characters? If it was 30 years after he first started. And so I think that it has the spirit and the lifeblood of the Ostrander books, but I also like to continuously take in new supervillains, other supervillains who have sometimes been in the Suicide Squad comics over the years, but also a lot of, characters like Polka Dot Man and Ratcatcher who have never been in the Suicide Squad, but who I just think are great DC villains who have something to offer and that we could have put into the movie.
Another question. Show some footage.
Where my biggest inspiration comes from.
More questions.
And did working on this movie teach you anything new about these quote-unquote villains?
Wow, who were my favorite villains growing up? Well, I was a huge Batman fan, and I'm going to tell you who my favorite villain was, and maybe it's a little embarrassing, but I'm not embarrassed by it. It was Batmite. I loved Batmite. I thought he was hilarious and creepy as heck. So Batmite was definitely my favorite supervillain, and don't think I didn't think about putting the Batmite in the Suicide Squad because I did.
I saw the set photos of the Suicide Squad, and I absolutely love the direction of the movie. But is it true that Flora Ward is playing Javelin Man? And if so, why? Also, is Nathan Fillion playing Blackguard?
Hey, Milan. So, is Flula playing Javelin Man? Well, his name isn't exactly Javelin Man, but in mere moments, we are going to see who Flula and Nathan are playing in the film. And I'll give you a hint. One of them you got pretty correct, and the other one you didn't get correct. And there's a lot of people all over the internet who have theories about who people are playing, and sometimes they've been right, and sometimes they've been wrong. And so I guess we're going to answer all those questions in a minute. But I will tell you one thing, which is Flula Borg is the funniest guy in the entire world and incredibly strange. But he's become a good friend through all this, and he's a great guy. And Nathan, of course, has been in all my movies. He's already been a friend. Here it comes, the time that so many of you guys have been waiting for. Who is who in the squad? You've heard a lot of the actors that are in this movie. You don't know who they're playing. Maybe you have some good guesses. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. We'll have to see. But here it is. Everything.
You know the deal. Successfully complete the mission, you get 10 years off your sentence.
You're my dream, you're my nightmare. Life is a dream, she don't fight fair.
Welcome to Task Force X. These are your brothers and sisters for the next few days.
Run away from the pain, I don't care. 'Cause I think I need some guiding. No, the truth don't stand a chance. All the man's up back again. I'm back to the black again. My plans like, oh no, oh no. All the man's up back again. Thought I had the upper hand, oh no, oh no. I'm back to the black again. Getting to my plans like, oh no, oh no. First day in sight, the violence. Turn around, then day in fight, the silence. Turn it down. I think I need some guidance.
Not bad, not bad. You know, most of these characters are it's Sean Combs in there. The Weasel, that's pretty cool. I'm excited to see the Suicide Squad characters come back. John Cena. Dun, 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 dun. That's pretty cool. No footage from the movie yet, but you know.
Here we go. We are introducing the cast and the characters they're playing of the Suicide Squad. First of all, we have Idris Elba as Bloodsport. John Cena as Peacemaker. David Dastmalchian as Polka Dot Man. Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang. Nathan Fillion as TDK. Flula Borg as Javelin. This is like a really messed up Brady Bunch. Daniela Melchior is Ratcatcher 2. Pete Davidson is Blackguard. Yeah. Sailing Ing as Mangao. Michael Rooker, unfortunately, is Savant. I had to put him in the movie. I deal with the devil. Peter Capaldi as the Thinker.
I love Peter Capaldi.
Sean Gunn is Weasel. Steve Agee is John Economos and our on-set King Shark.
Yes.
Marcy's not excited about DC and Marvel movies. The simple movies don't just say blatantly crow. Everything must be big, no sense at all, bad stories.
Real great guy. Joel Kinnaman is, of course, Rick Flag. Viola Davis is Amanda Waller. And, of course, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
Hey,
Go here! Together again!
Get together.
Good. Are you excited to be a part of DC Fandom?
Yeah.
Yes! Win! Hey, we're gonna win!
We're excited. This is gonna be great.
Well, we're gonna have some fun here. We're gonna have some competition, which it's not fun unless there's somebody winning and somebody losing. And so I would like to have a couple of team leaders, and I think it only makes sense that we have the people in charge of the Suicide Squad, Viola Davis and Joel Kinnaman, as our team leaders.
Hey, team leaders!
And why don't you guys go ahead and let's pick teams.
Bloodsport.
Thanks. Thanks.
Oh, definitely.
All right, I'll take my girl, Harley Quinn.
All right.
Yay!
I will take Savant.
Oh, good for you.
Wow.
What a bad mistake.
That is a bad pick. That is. And you guys have scenes together too. I can't believe you made that mistake.
I gotta tell you, you just made a big mistake.
John Cena. I'll take John Cena.
I want to reassure you that that is a horrible decision.
No, I already know that.
I'm gonna take my boy, King Shark.
Okay, I will take my man Boomer, Jai Courtney.
All right.
Ratcatcher.
Ratcatcher. Ratcatcher 2.
I will take Flula Borg, the Javelin.
Yes. I guarantee we will lose. Yes.
I'm gonna take Polka Dot Man.
Thank you. Yes.
And now.
I'm gonna have to grab the Weasel.
Oh, good man.
That's not on Rooker's team. Yeah,
the Weasel.
Yes.
Is that everybody?
Out of names.
What about makes me feel really bad.
There's left.
There's only
So
one
sad.
left.
It feels like high school again.
Did someone?
It totally feels like high school.
This is what it was
Yeah,
like.
the
The
thinker,
basketball
Viola.
team.
Yeah, the thinker.
Great idea.
Viola picks the thinker.
All right, we'll see you, Glenn. You have a good day.
Sol Soria.
El Presidente.
Okay.
What about Mongo?
You got picked by Joel.
Yeah, thank you, Joe.
Pete, this is sad. Victory cigarettes.
Oh man. Yeah. Okay. That was a good pick by Dart. Okay.
That went well. I think that went really well.
And then let's start off. We're going to go head to head, and we're going to start off with the team captains. Let's do Joel and Viola.
Ask some questions about comic books. They can't
This
answer
is a
them.
good
All fail.
question.
Okay.
I know both of you know so much about the lore of DC Comics.
Oh yeah, here we go.
There's a multiple choice, so you don't have to look terrible.
Let's go.
Out of all the squad members,
Mm-hmm.
who are the only characters to have had their own comic series? There's 2 of them, and I'm gonna list 4 options: A, Harley Quinn and King Shark; B, Harley Quinn and Amanda Waller; C, Harley Quinn and Peacemaker; or D, Harley Quinn and Boomerang. Which 2 have had their own series?
Harley Quinn and Boomerang.
Harley Quinn and Peacemaker.
Boom! Yes!
Yes.
That is correct!
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Wow!
Even look, even I knew that. Okay.
Man, it'd be awesome if it was, though.
Polka Dot Man.
Polka Dot Man! Again?
Mr. Sean Gunn.
Weasel versus Polka Dot Man. Old friends.
Oh,
I want a softball.
Oh, yeah, cue up the special guest.
¿Qué tal, amigos? Hola. ¿Cómo están? How are you? I've got a question. What career military man probably wishes he'd never followed in his dad's footsteps?
Joaquin, the great Coachy Loco.
Rick Flag Jr.
I had Super Grover. Is Super Grover? It's not Super Grover.
You're wrong, Sean.
Junior.
You're wrong. Wrong canon.
Points for creativity.
Now, there's no multiple choice. You just got to answer right away, and you have to have it be the right choice.
Okay.
Who has more tattoos, Harley Quinn or Pete Davidson?
Harley Quinn? No.
Pete, Margot gets another point.
I was thinking about his character. Oh,
How we were shooting.
This is a language. This is a misunderstanding.
That's always your answer when something goes wrong. Who's next?
The
Fillion, TDK.
What is the government's official code name for the Suicide Squad?
You know, I can't talk too much about this. This is pretty much an indie vote.
Suicide Squad.
The only thing I know.
Mei Ling's dying over there.
There's extremely.
No, I don't think people are paying for this, Pops. They may be though. Somewhere someone's paying for this. We're all paying for it mentally.
Even if I knew the answer,
You said it.
ask for it.
You say it in the movie. Some of these are too.
We're all
easy.
paying for this
Hey,
mentally,
Can
Pops.
we go to like one of our secret guest questions?
Hey guys, which team member would you sacrifice first?
Correct answer.
Weasel.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Is that what you said, Steve?
I said.
What's the answer, Jen?
I would have to go with Savant because he's played by Michael Rooker. And if anyone here has ever had to spend a day working with Michael Rooker, I think they'd probably have the same answer.
You know what? People are always like that. They always want to get rid of the most dangerous one first. Yeah, I understand where this is coming from.
All right, we're gonna have Flula versus Elise.
Fun fact: Michael Rooker. Whenever I'm in a Wizard World, Chicago or in Columbus or Cleveland, he's a guest. He makes it a habit of stopping by the table to shake Lola's hand.
B, King Shark.
Checks in on his Lola, doesn't it?
D, the Thinker.
May I ask a question, Mr. Gunn?
No.
Huh?
Yeah.
When you say full appearance, does this mean like everything was?
JD says, "Why would you do this to us?" Luke Stone says, "You're killing me." Yeah, I'm sorry.
Some items of
I'm sorry, guys. Here, I will break up the monotony of it a little bit here.
I was gonna say B.
B, King Shark. How did you guys?
I'll put the link in the
I
chat.
said King Sharky. That's incorrect. So
okay, so it goes to Elise.
I put the link in the chat if any of you want to pop in here and say the Fandom event is supposed to be about the comics, the movies, the video games, and it has been. They started off pretty good. I mean, they showed some Wonder Woman stuff, which was exciting. They showed a new Batman game from WB Montreal, which is I mean, depending on how you feel about it, it's gonna be rough. And then they showed a couple other ones. So then they did a Sandman. And oh boy, oh yeah, Lola and me our eyes were doing this, and I'm like, look, I got a drink at this point. I don't know how this is gonna handle. I'm gonna handle this, but yeah, I just had to get something to drink. You can see I found all the adult beverages in the house. Yeah, Rooker is cool. Rooker's cool, Luke Stone, and Pa says your stories are more entertaining than theirs are. Yeah, they are. They seem to be struggling a bit, but I mean, they probably would be a lot better if they were together because you can play off each other a lot better when you're, in the same room on stage. Yeah, now they're all talking over each other. It's like a big Zoom meeting. It's but it's not bad. It's not bad, and hopefully, they make us sit through this before they show us any footage from the movie. Maybe a trailer, maybe a sneak peek at something else, something from the movie. That'd be cool. At 5:30, they have something coming up on the schedule called Boss. It's I'm telling you right now, fam. I ain't gonna sit through it. I can't. I will sign off and I will get sloshed while that's playing. Let me see if I can find the schedule. At 5, they don't have a schedule up here, I guess. And they wanna play music, and let's see here. I was hoping they had the schedule up for DC Fandom, but I put the link to join the room on the YouTube page. It for some reason won't show up on the Facebook, on my Facebook. So if you want a link, just message me and tell me, hey, send me a link and I'll send you one. Yeah, let's see here. Same anyway, I think that's over. The Suicide Squad panel should be ending pretty soon. Oh, yeah. Bouse. B-A-W-S-E. Bouse. Females of color within the DC universe panel. So yeah, Bouse, B-A-W-S-E. You guys can check that out. That's gonna be rough to get through. Legacy of the Bat panel. This is all Pacific time, by the way. 4 o'clock our time here in Michigan. Legacy of the Bat. Then Chris Daughtry is gonna perform at 4:20. Can't miss that. Can't miss a Chris Daughtry performance at all. 4:30 Eastern Time. The Joker pulling a happy face. 4:35 p.m. Jim Lee portfolio review. Okay. 4:45 p.m. surprise DC Comics panel. So we don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be a surprise DC Comics panel. 5:10 Batman, the voice behind the cow. 5:30 p.m. the Snyder Cut of Justice League panel, which I guess I heard that the trailer may have leaked already. Black Adam panel at 6:10. At 6:30, so the Black Adam panel is going to be 20 minutes. At 6:30, CNN heroes, real life heroes in the age of coronavirus. Now, okay, all right. They should just call it the Glad Hand panel. Just drink up. Go out to the store. Buy yourself some alcohol. It's going to be a long weekend. And they're doing this shit again. Is it next weekend too? So yeah, we got to sit through this today. And then, what? In September too? Oh, I can't do it. There's a kids verse. Batman Carpool. Well, I'm gonna hyperventilate. Like, what the hell is Batman Carpool? Can you imagine? Well, I guess you could sing Jingle Bells, Batman Smells, Robin laid an egg. I mean, you could sing that. Pops, I'm trying to find you on Facebook so I can. It's horrible. It's this DC fandom. This is what we asked for. This is what we didn't ask for this. They forced this upon us.
You kind of sit there and go, how did they do that?
It's going to be different from any superhero movie ever made.
We'll see about that.
There's no one better in the world to direct the Suicide Squad than James Gunn.
I was excited with an opportunity to be able to do the Suicide Squad in the way it could be done from my point of view.
This one is completely unique. This is a gritty 1970s war movie combined with the brilliance of James Gunn's characters and comedy.
You need your director to set the vibe.
The Suicide Squad is just a twisted fantasy of characters.
Within each of our characters, there's a certain beauty within most of them. Some of them are just pretty crappy through and through.
Be like a douchey Captain America.
The guy who believes in peace at any cost, no matter how many people he needs to kill along the way.
Okay, I got it.
Don't ever settle back like you think you know where this is going, because you don't.
As soon as you have some sense about what's about to happen next, James comes in.
Everyone's exploding. Genitals, heads, arms, legs.
It's like a big, massive graphic novel brought to life.
This is by far the biggest movie I've ever made.
I don't think that you know what to expect.
Oh, I got a good feeling.
This has been truly the greatest
most exciting journey of my life making this film. Cut. That was great. So that was it. What do
Yeah,
you
that's
think
what they.
of that? New clip Anyway, I can't wait for everybody to see the Suicide Squad in theaters all the way.
What's up?
August 6th,
Yeah, it's a good one,
2021.
Pops.
We're still
I
working
got
on
a friend out in Arizona. They just happen to be the ones who printed these.
Oh, let me see that. Hold on, put that up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Look at
that's
that.
pretty cool.
I got one of the first ones, dude. She said,
Did he happen to send you Margot Robbie's phone number at all?
no. See, I got this girl I went out with like way back in high school that I'm still real good friends with, man, that lives out there, and she works for the printing company that did these.
Okay.
And yeah, anything comic related, you know, I get one. That's
And next, we have a very special DC fan guest.
You know,
with a question
I just
for
seen you pull
yourself.
that up, and I
Yeah,
was like,
Memphis,
man,
take it away.
I showed it to Rob the other day. I was like, because he was talking about this thing too.
You're a sport fan.
Yeah.
What kind of training did you do?
I don't know, man. Is it entertaining?
Okay, so hi Gail, Idris.
It is rough to get through. I'll tell you why. Because, you know, it's funny. I think I would have been, and I would be much more entertained by this had I not started a news site, a comic book news site.
Because now you cover it.
Now I gotta cover this BS. now I gotta respond to it. And then too, like sometimes it comes across as disingenuous. Like they're like, "Hey, we got people that are look how great we're doing. DC Comics rocks," and there are people who they just like fired, and you're like. There are some people who are sitting at home right now pulling their crotches at the screen, telling DC to suck, and you know, and it's like, are we gonna acknowledge that we just not we, but you know what I mean? There's a bunch of people sitting at home right now, you know, not working, probably head on their way to
fans of those 5 titles that won't be seen anymore.
yeah. It's like we should talk about that, guys. I mean, but I get it. This is a celebration of DC.
I'm not getting the vibe though. They just look fake. They just look like, we're going through the motions. How you doing, everybody?
Right, people were paid to be on this panel. I mean, I mean, they got Venus, which you know, I like Venus and Serena, awesome tennis players. Didn't know they were comic book fans, but if they are great, they are. Yeah, if they bring them in, if they like comics, bring them on in the industry. They'll be writing comic books for me. But JD
a couple of covers, huh?
Yeah. JD said, "Don't hit the bottle too hard," and says, "Please go back to Randy variant." Yeah, you know, I know the Roscato's gone. I destroyed that. I'm gonna work on the hard lemonade. Then I got a Bud Light back here. That's gonna hopefully help me get through today. I don't understand why this. I mean, and it was cool. They did have Linda Carter on earlier during the one-on-one panel. She came in with Gail.
I mean, what are they doing though? They're showing up for like 5 minutes, say a couple things, and they're gone.
For the good panels, yes. The panels that you're really interested in, yeah, it's like 5-10 minutes.
Man, let's have some interaction here.
Yeah.
You know, with the fans, like not just, you know, like coming out and talking at us, talk with us, talk to us. You know, did they do any Q&A, like people email questions and they're answering them, or
they were? I think.
Are they just trying to read that chat right there and keep up, or what?
I think at one point they were pulling like questions for like anonymously, like pulling questions like, "Hey, if you want us to read your question, send it to this email." But that was like 4 days ago, so they had a chance to print them up and get them prepped and get people answering the questions kind of primed, because some of the stuff was recorded.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking at that chat going by, and I'm like, there's no way they're keeping up with that.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it's like they might as well have just let people come out, ask them a question on the feed, and then get out the feed.
Yeah.
Like, you know, invite them out, let them ask questions, block them. They're on.
JD said, "Why would they want to talk to the little people?" Yeah. they don't want to
talking at the little people.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's like that's what I get from it. Like they're talking at us.
Yeah, well, it's like, why bring actual fans on when we can pay celebrities to come on and say they like the comics? And then too, like they would have got some asshole like me to come in there and say, you know, a lot of office space around out here now, huh? I hear you guys are
see, but see, I'm looking at it like this. There are so many fanboys.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, with a 2-minute research, you know whether or not this guy's going to troll you or not. You know, bring his question out if he's legit, if he's a fan. You know, you can tell. Come on, I screen a group. I can tell if they're comic fans or not. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you like, the thing gets too like. I don't know if you can get me on there and ask me to like even host a panel. Like, could you come and moderate it? Sure, because I won't lie. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna host it like I do Indie Vault. You know, we make the best comics in the country. You know, yeah, exactly. yeah. You make the. Is that what you do? Is that what you think you're?
That's how we do that.
Yeah. You guys have not made comics. JD also says, and they don't want any hard questions coming their way. They don't.
That's true.
Yeah.
But see, it wouldn't come at the actors and stuff. It would come at those people in charge.
Looks like Venus has a new Wonder Woman clothing line. Looks like Venus has a Wonder Woman, which my mother may enjoy. My mother and Heather Miles may enjoy the Wonder Woman clothing line. I can't rock it. That's just not happening for me to rock a Wonder Woman clothing line. I tried. I got some gauntlets. I got a tiara, but yeah, I got some tassels. I just cannot do it. I've tried, but
I'm sure you have.
Yeah. but Pops, when you see stuff like this, because this is basically DC kind of getting into the online con game. You've done it. Rob's done it. How does it make you feel?
This is me again saying, I wish I had a fucking budget like that, dude. I'm telling you, if I had that kind of budget.
I think the trolls are there. Look how fast the chat's are repeating or something.
If I had that kind of budget, though, Varian, we'd be having fun. We'd be having fun watching this. We wouldn't be sitting here talking about it. We'd be talking. Because I'd be all about entertaining everybody, you know? Hey, great, Serena Williams, woohoo! But I don't see the comic connection.
That's Venus, sir. I'm just kidding.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't see the comic connection. I didn't know we was trying to bring the tennis fans over, but hey, cool, bring you know, Wimbledon comics. I'm ready. You know?
JD says, "Well, Venus is a Wonder Woman for real. Venus is listen. Those girls are some athletes. Let me tell you. And
sure.
I remember. I remember
out there wearing a Wonder Woman outfit when she played golf or when she played tennis. Though
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah. You know, if she did that, oh my gosh, the endorsements.
But you see what I'm saying? I mean, come on. Now here she is. Now, hey, I'm saying marketing, lady. You know, that's good. But where were you when you were playing? Where were you on the court? That red, white, and blue would have looked really good out there.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you can protect your opponent. You never know.
Nice gold racket.
There you go.
Would have been cool. Who knows? Who knows? She might do it yet. She might do it yet. We're being joined, I believe. I'll let them bring themselves in. But yeah, I think that this is this event. It is shocking to see people try to get in on the. Oh, where'd you go? Okay. Popped in, popped out. See people try to get in on the digital con type of industry we have now.
It's just like with SD, you know, San Diego, they come out and did, and I'm just like, man, if I had that kind of budget to play with, y'all would loved what I'd have put together.
Yeah.
I mean, because I try to do it on no budget. And it's like, man, throw some money at me. Let me entertain the people, bro. Watch. I mean, I didn't have no money to work with. I couldn't bring people in that were like, star power. I had to find comic star power to get people to watch.
An event like this, and they spaced that out over 2 weeks, and I think they spaced that out over 2 weeks because there's a version of this.
Hi, Meredith.
There's a version of this that we'll never see, which was the version where everybody who got fired was talking about their comics. And they said, shit, we can't show that, and they cut it.
Variant, we can show that. Invite them to Indie Bowl, dude.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. You got
yeah, we can show that. We can do that.
Yeah, everyone that got fired, come on in. Meredith. Meredith says hi, Lola. I do think like I like the idea of being able to reach out to the companies and talk about comics, talk about what they're doing. That's cool. But
Ooh,
some of these panels.
That would be a great show. We could show it right after this. Invite everybody who just got fired from DC to come out in a big old Zoom. Ask them how to feel.
which one are you least excited for? In 5 minutes, our time, Eastern Standard Time, we're gonna have Boss. The Boss panel, BAWSE Boss, and then at 6:30 we're gonna have CNN Heroes in the Age of the Coronavirus. I heard somebody pop in, but I'm looking at the schedule. So if you want to come in, let me see here. Lola, could you do that for me? I'm looking at the schedule.
Have the CNN. This. Okay, hold on. Give that to me again, because I'm gonna send you a little something.
CNN Heroes, real life heroes in the age of coronavirus.
Okay, who's it hosted by? I'm just kind of curious.
It doesn't say who's hosting it, but it's CNN.
I wonder if it's this guy.
Who's that? I can't see.
Oh, it's coming. Check your inbox.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me see here. I won't be. We won't be on for very long. We'll get out of here pretty soon. But let me check my inbox here real quick. Oh, that's funny.
I can't help it.
Yeah.
I find things and I'm like, man, sometimes there's an appropriate moment.
Oh, look at that. Is it skipping? It was doing that today. Earlier today, it was skipping and having issues.
Rolling blackouts. It's over.
Yeah. Was it some one of those hacker groups come and take down the stream? They were like, yeah, we can't let this go on for much longer. Let's hit reload.
I'm thinking that Newsom might have cut the power to that neighborhood just now.
They have there we go. Let's do it this way. That was back. There we go. Yeah, they have. It's a weird thing to show that. I mean, they have these long periods of talking, and it's like, oh my god, talk about something exciting about the books. Talk about the creative teams, and then I thought about it. They can't talk about the creative team. They just fired everybody.
They can't talk about the books. They just cut half the ones that those people care about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teen Titans, I mean, didn't they kill Harley at 75?
They try to do so much. It
seems to me like Harley's one of your better players on the board right now. I don't know why you'd kill her book off unless you're number oneing it again.
Well, they killed the book off. They'll launch number one. They realize what they're doing. They realize that they got to streamline all that crap because they've got characters with.
But I mean, wouldn't you now be doing your build up for whatever you got coming next?
I don't really know what's coming next. I think
I don't think they do either. That's what I'm saying.
There's going to be some meetings this weekend and next weekend. In fact, I think next weekend is going to be a big meeting, and there's going to be some more heads to roll because, Daddy AT&T can't be happy. He can't be happy with what's going on.
And I'll be honest, the only reason I'm seeing any of this is because you put it up here. I didn't go looking for it. But I don't see I just don't catch the entertainment value, except unless, of course, there's somebody you actually want to see, a star, you want to hear what they have to say. But I don't,
I haven't been on Facebook. Is there any
Look, we actually showing something.
Is there any DC fandom stuff online on Facebook that you've seen in your timeline?
Not on my timeline, or like I said, other than you, or nobody's sharing anything to the group that I've seen either. That's what I mean. It's like it doesn't
exist.
Doesn't seem like anybody really cares.
This is from the first one, I believe. Yeah.
I'm looking down through the group right now, and no, ain't nobody posted nothing about it. Just the normal Kickstarters and our normal shows. Adds to our normal shows and stuff. Nothing about this at all. Let's see the timeline. I see comics. I see my people in comics. Somebody just said, okay, Kelly, of course, from the comic store. Her comic store is basically a DC store. I mean, they're mostly sponsored by DC, so she's watching, of course, and she said that Suicide Squad by James Gunn looks like it's going to be a blast. So that's one.
Yeah, if I have a comic store, this is on.
Yeah.
On every TV I got in the store, this is on and playing. I want everyone to see it.
Here's another comment. Same thing. James Gunn Suicide Squad looks amazing. That's the only thing anybody's talking about.
Yes, sir.
I popped in real quick just to tell you, news media is covering this like it hasn't covered anything else this year.
Really?
There's a lot of buzz going on. They must have been handed this stuff ahead of time because they're literally packaged. Like, you can tell these are polished. Someone's edited these things. This just didn't happen. This isn't like when they put out at San Diego Comic-Con with their spelling errors. They were handed this. You got to give credit. Like you said, this isn't for you because we cover news, but this is well done. This is really what San Diego Comic-Con should have looked like, and it didn't. This is now the new standard. I think the biggest reason you're not seeing about it is because people are watching it. There's a lot on Twitter. Go to Twitter. People are tweeting little things about this as they're watching.
Well, I see it on Twitter. I haven't seen it on Facebook, but I've seen it on Twitter because that's
It's harder to share on Facebook. This isn't exactly easy to share right now. I think people are watching, and I think this changes online Comic-Cons going forward because it's that prepackaged stuff we talked about. This is what you expect from a pre-con, a con that has time to be built. This type of presentation, not just a stupid Zoom meeting.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that now you do this, you have the packaged, polished presentation? There's a danger in this, and that danger is that, hey, we did this. We spent what, 20,000, 40,000, maybe not 40,000.
For this, $100,000. They're at least $100,000 in for all this editing.
Don't forget, there's one on there's one in September as well. Remember, they sprayed it out over 2.
I'm just talking about this event. $100,000 easy.
Okay, so let's say $100,000 to run this. Do you think that, like, they're going to start saying, we don't need Comic-Con, we don't need San Diego, we don't need to go to these little, we don't need to read pop, we don't need these other shows. Let's stay out.
Let's be honest, though, Reverend. How often are these guys actually at any show anymore?
Well, DC always
now, but they're in it. They're all over the place.
But DC was always at San Diego, and they came to New York Comic-Con. I believe. I know Marvel was always at New York Comic-Con.
Yeah, they're at the giant ones, and they'll still be at the giant ones because the giant ones, it's just about it's really about showing up. Like being there, being part of the conversation. Because them not being there, that would be the rumors of, oh no, DC's closing, so they couldn't be at New York Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? What I could see this doing, though, You don't think right now they're testing about making a DC con? You don't think this is a test for them? I think they'll pop up their own con in 2022, if not 2021, depending on how things go. I think you're seeing a lot of these things start thinking, well, do we need Reed Pop? Why don't we just do this in New York? We can get in the Javits Center. New York Comic Con doesn't own the Javits Center. Why don't we do it? And why don't we do it in the middle of the summer in New York City?
Yeah. I could see that happen. I could see that happening. There's your new Batwoman right there. I could see that happening. Right now, this is the Boss panel. Heroes of color in the DC universe, mainly their film universe. I was under the impression that they were going to be talking about the characters, like the comic book, the illustrated characters, but we're going to be talking, I guess, with the actors. Maybe they'll talk about those characters, but I do think, though, to go back to your question, Rob, I do think that they will eventually start to realize that, hey, we can put together these panels and these online things, but then again, the component that's missing is that fan interaction, that true fan interaction. Let me get a picture with you.
Missing is the comics.
Yeah.
Where are they? We're seeing
I can buy some exclusive merchandise from the store.
movie clips. We're seeing all this stuff. Where's the comics? What do we got to look forward to?
They have tons of comic stuff coming in. They're talking about Dark Metal soon. They're talking about all different comics. And earlier today, they talked about comics as well. This they have to do because this is about DC. DC is actually an entertainment company. They've been losing a lot of money not having Wonder Woman out. I don't know if you know this, but this is something that a lot of people aren't talking about. The toy industry is taking a gigantic hit. A lot of these things their toys are getting clearance. You've seen it online now. All these things are now being clearanced out because no one's buying these figures to these movies that no one's seen yet.
I just sent you guys both. There's a link at the bottom of that page. You see it says for DC, get DC fandom exclusive merchandise at the DC store. So
Yeah.
I click on it and I sent you guys a link to it. So they are running some specials during the show. They want everybody to go to Amazon and get some digital comics. Wonder Woman 11 by Venus Williams. There's a Lego sale, I guess. Free shipping. Get food in a flash from Postmates. 30 days free delivery. Food. So, if you're hungry and you got Postmates in your area. There's some exclusive DC fandom stuff. The DC Warner Brothers movies. Last night they lowered a lot of them to starting at $5. The DC movies.
Where's that? Where can you get the DC movies?
Warner Brothers Home Entertainment. It's going to be shopdcfilms.com.
And is it just out of curiosity? Because Jax loves them. Are they DVDs or digital?
This will all be digital.
Okay.
Yeah, all digital. So
doesn't mean I won't get it for the kid. He loves superhero stuff. $5. That's worth $5.
Yeah, and that right there is that's that we talked about it before, and Meredith coined the term for me at least that selling component that you put into the show that allows people to interact and say, hey, I want that now. Let me go over there and buy it. The best thing one of my best memories of being a kid was when Sega launched the Sega Saturn. And they showed all the graphics and everything and all the games. And they said, by the way, the Sega Saturn is available now. And you should have heard the crowd. They were, what did he just say? Like, there's no pre-order. Run to the store and get it when you leave. They're out now. And that was shocking for some people. Meredith says, you see this roll of people? This is what I'm trying to do with our indie comics and QR codes for Indie Event. She says, how many people sent me their vids? 5. Yikes, Meredith. Meredith, I'm gonna send you a chat. I'm gonna send you a link.
That's what it all comes down to. Okay, so here's the laughable moment. Everyone's gonna laugh when I say this because I don't even have to say anything else. Green Lantern is free right now on Amazon, the movie. Steve Varian got it. But I think this does change the game. I think they showed up like none of these other companies have showed up. And I think Reed is watching this because let's be honest, Reed got beat up for Metaverse.
I didn't even watch that. I didn't know. How was that?
It's serious.
It's
value is missing. If I have this kind of a budget people would be able to come in the stream. They'd be talking to each other. This would not be an infomercial. I mean, to me, it's like with that kind of budget, they could do so much more. I know I could, so much more.
You mentioned,
to
your question about the Reed thing, Varian. It didn't do well because it went the same way San Diego Comic-Con went. They didn't put a higher quality into the things. They just basically followed everything else that everyone else was doing and then put in like a little bit of an extra shine to it. But remember, the metaverse, I give them a lot of credit, or whatever they called it. They did it deliberately so they could plan to do better for New York Comic-Con. So I bet you Reed Pop's sitting there with a clipboard right now, writing down a lot of stuff. Like that ticker right there on the fandom thing, that's a game changer. Pops is saying people aren't talking, but they are. Here's the problem.
I didn't say people aren't talking. I'm saying they can't keep up with that, and they're probably not even paying attention to that.
They are, because they have
talking to each other.
No, there's a person right there filling it out. What you don't understand is that a lot of this is pre-canned still. These people aren't live. They're not talking. This is pre-taped, just for quality assurance. But another reason they can't have live people come in is because you could have people say inappropriate stuff. I've done over
like me.
I've done over 100 Comic Cons, and I can tell you, people ask inappropriate things when we're live.
I'm telling you, Rob, if this was live, I would be there trying to get into the room just to ask them. And I'm sorry, I gotta play. I know this. I don't think this happened in real life, but I have to play the Steve Wozniak character and say their names. Say the names of the people that you just fired last week. While you're having a celebration of how great the company is, at least wish them well. That chick is built, by the way. This is actually, you're seeing screenshots right now from the Meredith Logren movie. Screenshots right now. Meredith, tell us about your movie. Meredith, you mentioned I seen your jab in the chat about people sending you videos. But this is, how does that, Meredith? Let me ask you a question, because I was in the I was dragged to the bookstore the day I could walk, because doctor wanted me to try to walk. So I went to the bookstore and I'm looking through the bargain bins, and I see a book that's got the same name as my upcoming comic that I've been working on this comic since I was 19 years old. I'm now 38. So I want you to understand how long I've had this title and this name in my head. And I see this name on this book, and I'm like, what the fuck? It even had the same font that I used to use.
Wow.
So I'm like, wow. So I snatched the book up and I'm flipping through it, and I buy it. It's $3. I'm gonna burn it later. Because I don't want the book to. It's $3, so it obviously failed. Obviously. But I seem like someone stole my shit. And I know you watching this, do you feel in a way, you've been playing an indie event, do you feel in a way like somebody stole my shit?
You know what? This is going to be our 4th event. And quite honestly, if people are taking the idea and running with it and making it succeed, all the better for them. You know, I mean, really, it's not like I need the glory and all that. I've got a squeaky dog in the back. But yeah, you know, but every once in a while I see that and I think about the collective consciousness, you know, like all those ideas are out there in the universe kind of floating around, and, you know, it's happened several times, you know, with electricity, with the telephone. You know, it's just a matter of who gets to print first.
You are
so
you're better than me, because I would have said they stole my shit. Somebody out here is a weasel. Somebody out here is talking. I want you to track down who's talking.
I look at it like this. If they look at my little cons and they see something that works and they're using it in their great big con, that's awesome. That's cool. My issue is you got a big budget. You can do better than what my little no budget idea was.
I think the thing is too, I wonder how much do these people here who do the panels, the celebrities, do they still get like, because
Yes, they're getting paid.
Are they getting paid?
They're getting paid. They're no one's doing anything for free. Dude.
Oh yeah, that's why you said 100,000, and I was just like, that's low ball because
No, I said minimum 100,000.
yeah, no, that's minimum.
You have to understand, they get paid to do press now, Varian.
Lola's been my agent for 2 years. I haven't made shit. Lola, you're fired. I should be getting. You know how many streams I've been on for free? This is bullshit.
You know what, Varian? So like I've been kind of like background marketing with a couple other businesses before I joined Geek Insider, and you try and find those influencers, and they will ask a minimum of $1,000 for one post to Instagram. I mean, if you think about it, and those are people with smaller social followings. These influencers, they're commanding that kind of money to have a video like this, to actually take their time. I mean, unless they're actually promoting their movie, like if they're on a circuit and they're on, if they're on a press circuit and stuff like that, obviously they don't get paid, or maybe they're paid by their.
That's paid in. That's
I mean, if they're paid by their their promo people, but not necessarily.
No, it's part of your contract. When you sign up to do a movie now, you agree to do so many press junkets during a certain time period.
Unless you're Edward Norton.
Actresses can't go live on these things because it's against what's the thing they have? Their union they have, the Actors Guild. They actually need to get paid to do these things. They can't.
The SAG, yeah, you got to get paid to make an appearance.
Yeah, this is not even their choice. They can't be a nice person and just show up. Like they could show up to yours because you're not an established commercial entity, so they could pop up and do social media as they want.
Now, I would wonder this. I'd wonder this because this is just because of what you said. With this event, though, tie, because I would tie it in. Listen, I paid you for a movie. I gave you, $200,000-$300,000 to be in my movie. That included, she's hot. That included press. Because I had no idea when I paid you to be in that movie in 2019 that we were not going to be able to release it in 2020 or whenever, or the press is going to be hard to do. Now I need you to do press. And you're going to do it through my the proprietary site, because this is a Warner Brothers production.
Yeah.
Is that included in their payment? I mean, because tell you right now, I'm greedy. I'm trying to figure out how to get some more money as an actor. I'm like, well,
You want the real answer?
Yeah, like the real answer.
Go back and look at the Blair Witch Project and see how the actors and actress on the Blair Witch Project got screwed royally. They did not get any kickbacks. They got what they were paid because it was a union job. They did the press they did, and a lot of them had to do it for free. They
actually released a book afterwards that they got some money off of.
Yeah.
I got the book because that's why I bought the book, was because they got screwed in the movie.
Yeah, they didn't get money for appearances, nothing. They had to do it because it was part of their clause. There's like a window of expectation of what you have to do. And when you sign up for an indie project, you're like, oh, none of this is going to be really that important. Movie's never going to make it. And then suddenly when it makes it, they will, like, the studios will pay for their travel and their expenses. That's like a kickback. So they did get a lot of free trips. You know what I mean? And they'll get like per diem per day for food while they're traveling. So it's not like that they were doing it necessarily for free, but they weren't making the money everyone else was making.
Right. See, I wonder how many. See, the other thing about this is that, we go on air pretty much every day, and at least twice a week. And we wonder, like, oh, I gotta get my webcam. I gotta go get a good webcam. My webcam is broken. There's a lot of makeup being done right now, a lot of hair. I'm convinced some of these people, they went and they got their stylist, or they went and got a tech group. Hey, can you guys come out to my house, set up my lighting just right? Is that Megan good down there? You look at Megan's setup down there. I'm telling you right now, that's paid for. She's got Hollywood coming in there, setting her stream up. She ain't working for Brio Camera like I am.
No, dude, this is definitely what they did. Look at the quality of this. I noticed it right away. This is better than San Diego. San Diego just paid people to be there on certain of their streams. This is professionally done. Like you said, this is cultivated. They looked at this area. They talked to people beforehand. Let me see what your setup's going to be. She's probably got stuff in the background they didn't want, so they probably said, we'll come in and set up a white screen behind.
Yep.
Yeah. You notice how white everyone's walls are?
But we're not showing anything.
Yeah.
So this is approved. This is someone cultivating this like we expected San Diego to try to do. Credit to New York Comic Con, so the Reed Pop people, they were trying to cultivate a little bit, but they don't have the pull DC does. You understand? When you read it offers you to come in, you're like, okay, and a lot of them wore like jogging pants probably underneath and didn't care. This is DC. They pay your paycheck. They have a lot of pull with these people.
If you don't play ball with them, you might not be in the next freaking
Yeah.
Great picture.
You ask Ruby Rose. You ask Ruby Rose how it is to mess with us.
Yep.
I did want to say I am showing Batman support today. I'm wearing Batman pants, lounge pants. Yeah, you got these. Yeah, so yeah, Lola, do you have on Batman panties? No, okay.
I took off my Batman shirt too.
Okay, well there you go. Yeah, this here's Meredith. Any DC stuff on today?
No.
Yeah, she's like, let me check. No, all right.
Yeah,
we now know that Meredith.
I went to my underoos.
We now know that Meredith owns some type of DC bra because that's where she checked. We now know that. We'll have to. I look. This looks good. Oh,
you anyway.
You've got tattoos. That doesn't count.
No, I was gonna say. Well, speaking of tattoos, Randy said I can't come on without a shirt anymore. He made this rule about individual programming. I'm just wearing a Batman G-string, and that's it. Right now. I'm in a Batman G-string, no shirt on. It's hot in Florida, so I'm just sitting here, just nice and cool air blowing on me, feeling good. But I can't show it to anyone. I'm sorry. Randy's rules.
I gotta come with the Rob pictures or you're lying.
Speaking of cultivated, to what Rob was saying, has anybody been watching the Twitter feed on the sidebar here?
Yeah, those.
Are those repeats?
Let's say again.
I don't think those are live. Those are live comments.
Right? They are live, but they're selected.
And they're picked by a lawyer. A lawyer team is looking at all those to make sure nothing gets by them. That's why, to Pops' point, that's why they won't let regular people in. Because there was a story, and I forgot where it was. It was on one of them. The awkwardness of celebrities and the live streams that they've been doing and some of the things that were getting said to some celebrities and the concern about it. Because, you basically pay to talk to a person, and then you're suddenly a psycho for oh, I really, really love you. Can you send me a things that have been
I'd like to think that the people I would have bringing on are people that I know from my group, and I wouldn't have to worry about that. But they have to, but I wouldn't have to.
But that's the point, Pops. They don't have. Everyone in your group. They don't know the millions of.
Right, I know. I get that. But it doesn't take much to screen people either.
For millions, I think it would. You're asking for an element there, and then hold on, Pop. You're going to get the favoritism thing. Well, they're picking me over them. It's going to become a problem. I understand why they stay away from that. And on top of that, we're also forgetting the element that the story that was ran, and I have to try to find it again. If you're noticing suddenly people aren't doing live things with the celebrities anymore, did you catch that, Varian? They suddenly stopped doing live, but now you can send a video message and they send a video message back to you.
I didn't see that. No.
There have been a lot of circumstances where awkward things have happened live. And when something happens, you get cut off and you get kicked out of the room. But the other person on the other side still has to go through that event. They still have to feel like they're being, disrespected. Imagine someone showing up to your thing.
I'd be more worried about what, as a celebrity, what I might say that would be misconstrued or reinterpreted to drop me in some kind of a cancel hole.
No, they go through classes now. They literally go through classes.
I'd still be worried about it because they can interpret whatever they want.
I think that the good thing about this being pre-recorded is that a lot of that questionable stuff that you might say gets taken out. Live, you know, like either you come to a point where you say I don't care, you know how you take it, or you need it edited, and or you have to say, oh, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that way. It you know, I remember there was a line on Indie.
When you're across the table from somebody, they don't got an editor or an interpreter or anybody protecting them from, you know. I mean, you see what I'm saying? The con experience is still lost here.
Let's see what this guy's talking about real quick. Hold on. Let's see what he's.
Of Batman and the Bat Family. From the Good Fight, please welcome actor and bona fide Batman blur, Nyambi Nyambi.
But look at the background. Look at the quality of these graphics. You gotta be amazed at how they've cultivated this.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Legacy of the Bat, the DC Fandom channel where we take a deep dive not just into Batman's history, but how he has created and inspired proteges that have grown into an extended Bat family.
Now, how come they didn't ask me to do this? Okay, listen, I'll be nice with Jim Lee.
Very, very. Like, how much have you been on today? I'm just asking for as a friend. How much have you been taking? Like, you've been hitting the pain beds a lot. Like, you're asking questions you know the answer to, and I don't understand it.
Other than the fact that, again, I'd say I let everyone introduce themselves, and I say, so let's talk about people who got fired. But then it's like,
but you wouldn't. Being serious though, if we had to fire someone at Terraform, we'd never want to talk about it again. We would do it. We'd put out a public statement and walk to the future. I don't blame them for walking to the future. You don't talk about the past. You know what I mean? Because when one of these guys go out and they screw up and they send a text that causes a lot of problems, like calling out someone as a CG artist and they're not, you don't see that person going on every show and starting every show going, look, I fucked up. My bad. I should have never done this. You know, like you don't see the talent going out and apologizing for the bad books they put out. You don't see the talent in the editorial staff going, low. I should have been fired because I put that out. This is the one book I know that got me fired. So why should he take time to do it? And I'm not trying to pick on anyone. I'm just not a fan of that. Like, have you ever watched the wrestling thing start off the show? Tonight, I just wanted you to know Rusev was fired. You wish him credit. No more Rusev Day. Please don't bring your stuff. You don't talk about it. Come on, you know that.
Well, the only time they did that.
DC. Your dog in DC right now trying to get them to do something you know they'll never do.
The only time that WWE did that is when Stone Cold said "fuck it" and left midday. Remember that?
Well, they didn't know what to do. They were like, we really don't know what happened. And then you had like JR go over to his house and be like, come on, man. Barbecue girls, come back, Stone Cold. But you don't talk about that, or you don't talk about it as much as you have to. And remember, I guarantee you some of this shit was filmed before they fired some people.
Oh, yeah. Jim Lee's been on twice today, and his shirt has changed. So
yeah, they probably re-edited it.
Yeah, this has probably been getting filmed for a full month, which is why I think that they pushed the next showing of this, or the part 2 of this, back to September 12th.
And I guarantee that's the comic heavy part. That's
because
suddenly recut everything because they were like, ooh, can't talk about Teen Titans, can't talk about Aquaman, awkward.
Can't talk about Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
they canceled that. Lola, having to be somebody who has to sit here and watch this all day.
It's so boring.
Is it?
I think I've smoked like almost all my vape already.
Is it because what's missing for you?
Excitement.
What do you want? Like what could they do?
Too much talking.
But you like so this
show more.
This coming from a woman who I'm gonna embarrass her. When I first met Lola, she never did Comic-Cons. And there came a point where we were going to a Comic-Con, and I had was I waiting for a check to clear, or did my bank account get frozen?
Which one?
We were going to Chicago.
The bank account got frozen.
Bank account got frozen for like 24 or 48 hours. And we had $0. But Lola was so mad she actually got teary-eyed. Okay, so because she has started to love Comic-Cons. So what I'm saying is that there must be something missing from, other than actually being there, being physically there in the presence of all these people versus watching on from the comfort of your own home. What's missing? Like, is it that you can't buy something?
A panel and being at a con behind the table are two different things. Behind the table, I can interact with the fans. I can talk to them. I can sell the product. Being at a panel, you're just watching someone talk.
That's the way I feel. It's like there's no, even though they're all out here and they're talking, they're not talking to us. They're talking at us. When I do my con, I try to like be out. If the person wants me in the stream with them, I try to keep it so that it's entertaining. If this is somebody you wanted to come out and watch, I try to keep you there for the 30 minutes.
Okay, so maybe it's a double-edged sword then, because here's the thing: you get us here, you get myself, Lola, Rob, Pops, Meredith. You get us here, you get to talk to us live right there in the chat, and we could bring it up if we want to. But the minute you start bringing on bigger names that want people who don't want to be embarrassed, don't want to be put in those awkward moments,
you can't interact with them.
Yeah, I do like her look, by the way. The new one, the new Batwoman. I do like her look. She's very pretty.
You also have to remember this is not indie.
No. There's a lot of money.
What we're doing is for a much smaller, hopefully growing, gonna be bigger thing, but we're doing it for the people down here that don't get that kind of paycheck.
But
but you know what, guys? We all want to get the big money eventually. I mean, we're all striving for that brass ring. The thing is, the missing component from this is that live aspect. And it doesn't even matter. Let's just, it's nice that they're interacting. It's nice to see a little bit of their personality, but is it really their personality, or are they shilling the movie or the show or whatever it is that they're paid to do? That aspect of even having that Twitter feed being, just moderated. And I understand it. When we're live streaming, we have chats that are coming in from all of the different social media. And we pick and choose. A lot of times we read through them all because it's funny or it's appropriate to whatever it is that we're talking about. But, when you have a celebrity or somebody, it's like as the moderator of these live streams, we have the ability to pull up a question or shout out the fans and things like that. We're missing that with this. It's
yes.
They're interacting with each other there, and that's great. And to what Pops was saying, they're speaking at us. They're speaking amongst each other, which is fine and good, but we're not in on the conversation. We don't have a say.
It's kind of like being a voyeur in a way.
It's watching TV, man.
Yeah.
Now look, if they wanted to do this, you got 4 stages. You got your cosplayers over there. You got indie comics over here. You got, or whatever, for a con. Okay, you got indie. You got your DC. You got your Marvel stage. You got stages, and you got a guy in the middle, the host, going, hey, if you want to check out some indie, you go down to screen 3, and there's some indie stuff going on there. If you're a cosplay and you like to cosplay, you want to be over there in screen 5. Trust me, if I had the budget to make this happen, it would be a con event. It wouldn't be some people talking at me.
Okay, well, first off, guys, this was never meant to be a Comic-Con.
Well,
it is fandom. It is definitely fandom.
Yeah, this was never meant to compare to a Comic-Con. They've never been a Comic-Con. I think we're being.
That was the first question you asked when you came out, Raj. Rob was, what's the missing component to this Comic-Con?
Well, this could be a Comic-Con. That's what I'm saying. This isn't. I said this could be what the other Comic-Cons
right.
use.
You did say that this was what San Diego was missing.
I think they should implemented this because, like Meredith is saying, you're not going to get the live thing. At the level that they're doing millions of comments an hour, you cannot do what we do at our level. Let's just be honest.
I do think that if it was live, we'd see some things in the comment section that would not be appropriate. Now I can do that. I could have something set up to where we could pick comments off of social media, off of Twitter, and pull them in. But
they wouldn't be coming at as fast as these are, though.
No, they would not be coming as fast, and we'd have to, the chances. Look, I mean, like we go live on Twitch. Let's be honest. Have you gone live on Twitch ever? Like,
not in a long time.
Okay. If you want to get trolled,
oh yeah, they're popping on Twitch.
That's where it's at, and
we've had that during one of the devil ones where someone was in the comments saying some really inappropriate stuff. We just didn't acknowledge it.
Right.
But he came in Monday Madness Ladies Night and said something kind of inappropriate. I just blocked him out. Gone.
Yeah. But I mean, imagine that when it's 400, 500 people all on there typing repetitive letters, enter just to mess up your, because I mean, we've seen it happen on other celebrity streams who go live and leave their comments, up there. Meredith.
Yeah, but you have a lot of these events where your fans have to sign up for access. So maybe they get an access code or something. So maybe you get the millions who are watching on the replay later when you release it. But for the live, you can still moderate it to a certain degree by having like your first 1,000 people show up, and then after that.
Yeah, but at this level, you have to realize, Meredith, there are probably 1 million people watching this live, at least.
This is the Batman game.
Sure, but if you knew, sorry, Varian, but if you knew that this was happening, and you had a sign up period where people could sign up for access to watch it and interact and be part of that Twitter feed, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
maybe that's the missing.
Then it comes down to who do you choose? How do you validate who's going to be there?
First come, first serve, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Now you do everything.
An announcement out there, and you, maybe you reserve some for your friends and your family.
He's asking a question.
What I'm saying is, you do it by invitation first, and then you fill in the gaps with the fans.
Let's see what Jake's question is from State Farm. Hold on.
When you first started drawing Batman, what or who were your inspirations for your design for that character?
For those of you that collect comics, I think one of my main influences is an artist named Neil Adams. He just brought this,
I'm glad Randy's not on the show. Oh, I'm glad Randy's not on the show.
Fancy word, very similar to his art. I just looked like it was real, like he'd go out and touch it. This is before.
I'm glad Randy isn't on the show. Randy would be having a field day with that question. Randy would have been laughing and turning red, and you'd heard the soapbox pull out.
But Meredith, to your point, DC is just too big. You have to understand DC is bigger than any promotion, any Comic-Con. Stack San Diego, New York Comic-Con, MegaCon, every major convention out there, and it still won't have the reach DC does.
And you can still do it like people pay $10 to get their little thing on the Twitter feed.
But then
and it's screened and it's paid for.
But it's ethics. They're now. You have to understand. They're trying to reach the whole audience. That's what it is. They're not trying to get a.
Well, they're not showing everybody's comments, dude.
No, but they're picking
they can be making money off getting them comments up there, or
they're not trying.
There's ways to screen them.
The minute you start charging for it, someone will have a problem with it. You don't understand. I see the bigger problems, and even with Indie Vault, we've had to talk about certain things that would be looked at a certain way. You have to look at the optics of it.
I'm saying you've already said that they hired a bunch of lawyers to go through all this stuff and make sure it's all okay. Well, and you're showing it all on the delayed feed. It's like.
I do think that what we've covered, and when we have these issues with people, like streaming, we can block them out. They have to deal with it on a much higher level than we do. However, I do think that this event, again, it being polished, there's some AT&T money back here. There's some Warner Brothers money behind this. Okay, there is a bit of a budget behind this, and and they are pushing. They are pushing DC property, Warner Brothers properties. So the investment to them is there's an ROI on this that they are okay spending. With something like San Diego, which was, hey, listen, we're not going to charge anybody for anything. Just come and do an event. are some of these places that they have to use Zoom. They have to use StreamYard, Caster, other types of streaming platforms. So they don't get the pretty backgrounds, or maybe they don't know how to do them, or they don't care enough to do them because hey, we're not getting any money from this. Now, I will say this also: this is going to change some things. The presentation of this, whichever company steps up with a similar budget, a similar financial background, is gonna have to come with the same type of energy. Be it pre-recorded, I think we can forgive it a little bit if it's live, but if it's pre-recorded, we're gonna expect this type of energy.
You know how you guys take your email questions in advance? They could do that too and ask them live.
By the way, I'm letting you guys know I'm getting out of here because I am not gonna watch the Chris Daughtry performance. Let me tell you something. I don't care how much you listen. I don't give a damn. Rob can spin it however he wants to spin it. The Chris Daughtry performance has nothing, unless he's gonna be wearing a goddamn Batman suit. I do not care.
You could always share the Mojo Rising Kickstarter and talk about that for a minute.
Well, I gotta get offline. But I just want to talk to people a little bit about the fandom, but the fandom event. And I urge you guys to keep watching. I'm gonna keep watching it on the TV. And
yeah, the only reason I'm watching is because you brought it up.
Aren't you interested? Aren't you slightly interested?
I wanted to say that the best part of this is the V logo up in the right-hand corner.
That's right by the DC logo, which is funny because
it looks perfect sitting right there, man.
DC is my mother's initials, so my mother's very partial to DC Comics. She has a lot of stuff with this DC on it, just like the logo, Wonder Woman especially. But she loves DC, and I was thinking, you realize that, this crap, this Wallace and Gromit crap they've been doing all day. I don't like Wallace and Gromit style of animation. It might be funny, but I can't get through it.
With the old claymation?
Yeah, I can't. I like claymation. I just don't like theirs. And it's like
it is kind of.
Do you like my new shoes?
Okay.
Hi guys.
They're kind of.
Hi Lola.
Very. Can I have 5 minutes of your time before you disappear?
Sure, you can. Yeah, I'm getting ready to get out here, guys. This has been a very wildly unreasonable stream snipe. I'm done with DC fandom for streaming it, unless they do something really, really egregious. But if you want something to sleep to tonight, I believe it's going to start back up at 8:00 from the beginning. It's going to start back up, so you can watch it again at 8:00 p.m. tonight, and then yeah. So guys, thanks for joining. Thanks for being with me. You can check out Pops at the Comics Related Madness. You can check out Meredith at Indie Vent, EDEEVENT.com. She's also a member of Geek Insider. She's got a lot of she's everywhere. She's a comic book noob. This is the comic noob, right? The comic noob. The comic noob. And you have one other one that I always forget the name of.
Wild One Forever.
Wild One Forever. Yeah. That's what. And for some reason, I keep looking and say, did it say Well Done Forever? Well Done Forever? Wild One Forever.
I did the same thing when I first saw it. I'm like, why did we name it that?
Yeah. Wild One Forever. And Mr. Rob Anderson, the comics advocate, the indie devil. He's all of it. You can find these fine people online. Check social media. Look them up. Pops Van Zandt, Comics Related Madness. He's got CrimeCon 4 and Mojo Rising on.
Don't forget the Monday Madness. That's bring out the ladies. Oh,
he's got all. So I will see you guys. You guys have a good day. I'm gonna keep drinking to wash this taste of fandom out of my mouth. It hits the back of your throat. It's not the taste, guys. It's the consistency. See you guys later.
Talk to you later.